Welcome, preschool teachers. If you're out there managing a classroom full of energetic, curious, and, let's be honest, sometimes wonderfully chaotic young children, well, this explainer is exactly what you need today. Think of this not as some high-level, boring theory lesson, but as your absolute, highly practical survival guide for daily classroom management. Today, we're diving straight into the foundations of health, safety, and nutrition in early education. And trust me, mastering these areas, it's going to completely transform your teaching day.
I want to anchor our whole discussion today on one really simple but profoundly true core belief. Healthy children learn better. It makes sense, right? But sometimes, especially when we're stressed out and running on fumes, we kind of start viewing health, safety, and nutrition as these tedious administrative checklists or, just compliance protocols. But actually, scratch that, they are the absolute foundational tools for effective teaching. If we don't have these elements totally locked down, the best, most creative lesson plans in the world just aren't going to stick, simply because the kids won't be in the physical or mental state to absorb them.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll quickly go over the foundation of preschool, managing daily classroom health, creating safe learning spaces, fueling focus with nutrition, and finally, the integrated classroom approach. Let's jump right in and transform these pillars into actionable strategies you can use tomorrow.
Section 1. The Foundation of Preschool. Building the Basics.
So why do these three specific areas, health, safety, and nutrition, matter so much? Well, young children are incredibly physically vulnerable, and they are growing rapidly, literally right before our eyes. They depend heavily on us to set the right stage so their learning and behavior can really thrive. Now, health isn't just about avoiding a winter cold, it's the whole shebang, their physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Safety provides that absolute non-negotiable protection from danger. And nutrition? That supplies the exact fuel they need for all that rapid growth. When you combine them, these pillars protect the kids, they build up their confidence so they feel totally secure enough to explore, and they directly support absolutely crucial brain development.
Section 2. Managing daily classroom health. Proactive strategies. Now, as a teacher, look, nobody's expecting you to be a medical doctor, but it is absolutely vital that you act as the very first line of early observation. You essentially set the tone for health in your room. Every single morning, you want to proactively scan your arriving students. You're looking for fever, flu and coughs, allergies, asthma, tooth decay, or even signs of malnutrition. Catching a bug early obviously stops it from spreading like wildfire to the rest of the class, but it also rescues that specific child's day. I mean, think about it. A child battling an undiagnosed ear allergy or a painful tooth cavity, there is just no way they can fully engage with your morning circle time. So how do we manage this practically without losing our minds? Through fundamental hygiene routines. Consistent hand washing, sanitizing toys and surfaces, proper toilet hygiene, making sure they're covering coughs and sneezes, and general personal cleanliness. The absolute crucial point here is that you really shouldn't view these steps as frustrating interruptions to your precious teaching time. Instead, reframe them. Frame them as essential, structured classroom transitions. Having a fun hand-washing song built right into the natural flow of your day actively prevents infection, and that keeps your classroom attendance high and your students' energy totally focused.
Section 3. Creating safe learning spaces. Active supervision.
Okay, I want you to take a second right now and just mentally walk through your own classroom. Have you checked your room for hazards today? Really picture it. Imagine a child excitedly running toward the block center. But oops, there's a spill near the water table from earlier. Or maybe there's a loose electrical cord hanging down from a CD player. Classroom risks are very real, they are super urgent, and honestly, they can turn a great, highly productive day into a stressful emergency in literally a matter of seconds. You have to actively be on the lookout for things like slippery floors, sharp objects, small choking items, and that last one is a big deal, especially if older siblings accidentally brought something small into the room during drop-off. Also watch out for unsafe playground equipment and electrical hazards. Here is a massive pro tip for you. Proactively scan your environment every single day by physically getting down on your knees. Seriously, look at the room from their eye level. Identify and reduce these exact risks so your kids can explore safely, because at the end of the day, a safe space is what builds trust.
You see, safety is actually a two-part equation. First, you have your active procedures. This is your vigilant, active supervision, your emergency drills, and your strict child pickup procedures. Second, you have environmental readiness. This means having a highly safe classroom arrangement and making sure your first aid is completely ready to go. True safety absolutely requires both. It's this constant mix of having a secure physical setup while executing active, watchful routines. Because let's face it, a perfectly stocked first aid kit does absolutely nothing if you aren't actively supervising to prevent the injury in the very first place.
Section 4. Fueling focus with nutrition. Managing energy.
All right, let's talk about food. We really need to stop framing food as just a quick snack break and start seeing it as the direct driver of student focus, behavior, and energy. A truly healthy, balanced diet pulls from 5 key food groups: fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. Getting this exact balance provides the crucial carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and water required to support their physical growth, strengthen their little immune systems, and fuel that super rapid brain development that happens in early childhood.
This balance totally dictates your daily classroom dynamic. Proper nutrition, that gives you kids with sustained energy, sharp focus, and a really strong immune system. But poor nutrition? Well, we all know what that looks like. It's low energy, poor concentration, weak immunity, delayed growth, and sometimes even the classic 10 a.m. meltdown. If a child suddenly can't concentrate at 10 a.m., take a step back and evaluate what fueled them that morning. Food quite literally dictates your student's ability to learn and function.
Section 5. The integrated classroom approach. Bringing it all together.
So let's bring it all together. These pillars we've talked about, they aren't isolated administrative tasks. They are a totally unified system where collaboration is absolutely key. At school, teachers model healthy habits and ensure safety. Meanwhile, families at home provide the healthy meals, support hygiene, and ensure the kids are getting enough sleep. Communicating clearly with parents, like sharing health observations or discussing dietary habits, is just as vital as teaching hand washing. You are all one big, united team working for that child.
And when you fully integrate this approach, the results are honestly incredible. We're talking holistic development, emotional security, true learning readiness, positive behavior, and the start of lifelong healthy habits. The ultimate payoff for you as a teacher is walking into a classroom full of emotionally secure kids who are truly ready to learn and who naturally exhibit positive behavior. That is a real game changer.
So let's wrap up this explainer by leaving you with one pretty powerful reflection question. How can you, as a teacher, create a healthier and safer environment for young children tomorrow? I really want to challenge you on this. Look at your lesson plans tonight, picture your physical classroom layout for the morning, and just commit to taking one practical step. Maybe it's actively scanning for tripping hazards at eye level, or maybe it's finally turning that boring hygiene routine into an engaging transition activity. Remember, healthy, safe, and well-nourished children are so much more ready to learn and grow. Empower them by mastering these exact foundations. Thanks so much for tuning into this explainer.